How's it going now, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for another video. Now, news has broken over the last couple of days that Alex Neil is now the favourite to go and manage Rangers. Now, I'm joined here with Jedd France, a Rangers fan. Jedd, weird news, isn't it?
It's not something I thought I'd be hearing. Definitely not. It's quite a strange appointment, if you ask me, to be honest, if we're going to go for it.
I mean, it sort of come out of nowhere, didn't it? Were you expecting to hear this news?
I didn't even consider Alex Neil as a contender for the job at all. So when I saw the headlines, it was actually your Twitter that I noticed it from. I just couldn't really believe it when I saw it.
I mean, I suppose you've got a much better understanding of what Rangers fans are thinking than me. Is the general opinion being the same as yours, that Alex Neil just isn't the man to take you forward?
Well, I've got to be honest, I haven't seen too much about it. But I think in terms of, Alex Neil's accomplishments, I think, obviously him being Scottish and he has worked in the Scottish game before, he understands the pressure that the old firm clubs are under. So from that point of view, I think the fans would be happy. But I think, with the 10-game run that you guys went on, I think it was 8 losses or something in 10 games. I think it would be quite an underwhelming appointment at this stage. But I suppose there's pros and cons to it, to be honest.
Is Alex Neil a respected manager in Scotland for what he'd done with Hamilton? He's taken them from the Championship into a decent Premier League club when he was there.
Yeah, I think he done really well with Hamilton. He definitely exceeded the expectations there. I mean, they went to Parkhead and beat Celtic for the first time in 76 years or something like that. But of course, managing Hamilton is totally different to managing Rangers. I think the mentality and the pressure up here in Glasgow is huge. But I mean, he's kind of proved that he can handle the ball, he can handle the pressure. I mean, he was under immense amount of pressure not so long ago at Norwich, and he's came through it. He went on a good little run for a few games. And obviously you drew the derby with Ipswich, which wouldn't have been the best result, but as long as you didn't lose, I suppose that's the main thing. But I think there's definite respect up here for him, but I'm just not too sure if he's ready to manage, one of the top clubs in the country.
I mean, your season has been. How has your season gone? I mean, looking at it from the outside, sort of in, it hasn't looked great. But I mean, it is your first season back after a few seasons out of the Premiership. I know, was it 33 points off Celtic at the moment? Is that what you were expecting going into this season?
It depends who you ask. I mean, you've got a lot of Rangers fans that were saying, it's not acceptable. We should still be winning every single game, and of course that's not kind of realistic. But in terms of the results that we've had and being so far off of Celtic, it's been quite embarrassing, to be honest. Especially some of the performances. I've watched pretty much all the games this season, and nothing is changing. And of course, the way that Warburton left the club was just really, really embarrassing and humiliating, and it was just kind of put into perspective and showed just how our season is going at the moment, and it's not shown any signs of getting any better.
I mean, Warburton come from kind of a similar kind of footballing background, not a football, sort of coming from the Championship, done a great job at Brentford. I suppose that must fill you with a little confidence that if Alex Neil was to take the plunge and go to Rangers, that you've had a guy similar to him before.
Yeah, I think Warburton was good in the Championship for us, the Championship up here, I mean. But I think when he got up to the top flight and he realised that the expectation was still there to win, 90% of our games, I think the job did get too much for him. But that's where Alex Neil has, an advantage over Warburton, because he is Scottish and he knows the pressure that he'll be under. And obviously he was under pressure at Norwich. I'm not too sure if he still is. Obviously, you're still trying to fight to get into the playoffs, but he would be jumping straight into another immense of pressure coming up to Glasgow, because we are in a really horrible state, the way we're playing football, the results. The fans are really unhappy, and we want change. And if he was to leave Norwich to come to us, I think he would just be jumping straight back into another furnace of fire, to be honest.
I suppose, let's round it up then. The general opinion is you just can't see it happening. Too big of a jump for Alex Neil at the moment.
I can't see it happening at this stage of the season. I don't think Norwich would particularly want to change manager at this time unless you've got someone else lined up. But I think we're not looking to appoint someone on a permanent basis right now. We're trying to get a director of football in first, who will then oversee who gets the job on a permanent basis. I think someone might get it to the end of the season, which is where your Alex McLeish's come in, and I think that's more of a realistic appointment. I don't see us going after another club's manager, to be honest. I think the compensation we'd have to pay. I don't see it happening, to be honest.
Jedd, thanks for coming on the channel, mate.
No problem. Pleasure. Thanks very much.
Once upon a time, a fairy tale.